Hello everyone, my name is Zenitsu, and I'm back with another Digimon spoilers video. This morning we got 4 new cards to think about, and these 4 new cards are definitely looking to be pretty interesting on what they are doing. So, starting off with Veemon. So, Veemon is your standard level 3, decent cost, decent stats, decent evolution cost, you know the drill. But the interesting thing is the fact that he has the jamming ability. So this kind of incentivizes a little bit more of some early aggression, where you aren't necessarily afraid to attack because of jamming, and again, jamming kind of fits into what Pyildramon and Imperialdramon are playing around with, so it only makes sense that we see jamming somewhere in that line, and seeing it in Veemon is actually pretty powerful because it means you get some of that early aggression and not necessarily being afraid of attacking because of jamming, so that way he doesn't die to the security check on the opponent's Digimon. On top of which, he also could be played around with in All-Force Veedramon for similar reasons, an early game aggression card, and then obviously Rookie Rush could potentially utilize this card because they try to attack the opponent's security a lot, and if they don't attack into the Veemon, then he could just keep breaking the opponent's security over and over again because of that jamming ability. This card's looking actually to be really good for a lot of different decks, and I'm excited to see what else they have in store for him. Next, we have Xvmon. So obviously we already knew that Xvmon was going to be in the set, and now we know what he does. So he is your level 4 kind of average stats, but he does have a really powerful when evolving ability where you get to put one of your level 4 or less Digimon to active. This can be utilized in a whole bunch of different ways for a whole bunch of different decks. So the most obvious synergy is, again, in that Pyildramon and Imperialdramon kind of style, where you'll attack with your Veemon, break a security with jamming, then Digivolve into Xvmon. Xvmon will be rested, and then you could use his when evolving ability to stand himself and put him into active. So again, putting a Digimon to active in this style could be both defensive and offensive because it means you get another attack off, or it means it's kind of like this little pseudo reboot ability where the opponent can't attack into it even though you attacked with it. That's just something pretty powerful to think about. It's kind of fitting on theme with how Pyildramon and Imperialdramon are playing off of each other, except this is a more earlier form of it. So it's just looking to be pretty powerful of a combination with lots of high synergy. And again, you could utilize this type of combo in All-Force Veedramon because he is still a Veemon in some form, so he is searchable. The combo still is pretty powerful for some good early game aggression, which definitely would be beneficial to All-Force Veedramon, so that way you don't have to try to push as hard with All-Force Veedramon trying to bank on him swinging for like 4 or 5 attacks. He's just pretty good there, on top of which, because of his ability is just generic to level 4 or less Digimon, we could start to see more of a Champion Rush variant of Rookie Rush, where they actually Digivolve into their champions, because we already see Rookie Rush and we already have something like Mega Zoo, so what's to say that we can't have a more champion-focused themed deck? Because he is very similar to the Garurumon that has a when played you get to stand one of your Digimon to active, so who's to say that a Champion Rush style deck might not be something people are thinking about? But regardless, he's just a very interesting card. He's fitting on theme with all of these new Veemons and Pyildramon and Imperialdramon, and he's just going to be a very powerful card. Next, we have Metalmanemon. So Metalmanemon is a level 5, 8 to play, 3 to Digivolve, 7,000 DP, so kind of just, again, more average stats, nothing spicy there. He innately has the reboot ability, so that means he could swing, and then on the opponent's turn he stands up. Black already has a whole bunch of reboot synergy, so he's just following on theme with Black. But the interesting thing is he has a really powerful when Digivolving ability, where you get to return one virus attribute level 7 Digimon from your trash to your hand. So right now we have two possible targets, which is Millenniumon and Ragnalordmon. He has that kind of synergy there, but the fact that Digimon is starting to play with attributes is definitely a big plus for the game, because for the most part we haven't really seen them touch that aspect of the game before, and it was just a stat on the card. But now that they're introducing more and more cards that have more and more synergies with it, it definitely opens up design possibilities for them to take the game into some crazy and interesting directions. So I'm really liking what this card is doing. Obviously, his When Digivolved ability is really, really good, because if, let's just say, in the early to mid game, they broke one of your security and it was one of those level 7 megas, well, now you have a way to retrieve that while holding on to possibly a mega to digivolve him into, and then you're already getting your level 7 back with him. So he's definitely looking to be a pretty powerful card, and he is definitely one to watch going forward. And then lastly, we have Metalgreymon. So Metalgreymon is basically the similar version to Metalmanemon, except in red, and instead of reboot, he has piercing, but his When Digivolved effect is the exact same, where you get to return one level 7 virus attribute Digimon from your trash to your hand. So, similar thing, it's just a very, very good ability to have. Obviously, him being in red means that you're probably going to focus him on Ragnalordmon, where Metalmanemon could go for either Ragnalordmon or Millenniumon. So it's something interesting to note that these two cards are kind of fitting more with that Ragnalordmon style of deck, and definitely is making that deck a little bit more powerful and a little bit more consistent. Even though they don't give any inheritable abilities, I think the way that you play Ragnalordmon in general, as of right now, because we still have more spoilers left to see, so this is just all based on what we currently know, is you bank off of the abilities that your megas give, and this is kind of why that we see that repetition in abilities in the champion and ultimate stage, because now you have cards like this where it's like, okay, I'll digivolve into the champion, give him the champion ability, digivolve into one of these types of ultimates to somehow retrieve Ragnalordmon back from the trash, and then play the mega, then play Ragnalordmon. So that's kind of just the interesting lines that the game kind of seems like it wants you to take, and I definitely think it is going to make for a very powerful Ragnalordmon deck, or even in Metalmanemon's case, a powerful possible Millenniumon turbo deck. These are just fantastic cards, and I love seeing them play with new aspects of the game that they haven't before. So that's kind of all the spoilers that we got for this morning. I am definitely really liking the direction that Union Impact is going in, because it opens the doors for a lot more deck building possibilities, and obviously more cards added to the card pool just means you have more options to think about. So I just am generally all for what the set is doing so far, and I'm excited to see more. As always, tell me your thoughts of these cards down in the comments below, and feel free to like, share, and subscribe this video for more content, and I will see you in the next video.